He was aggressive underneath balcony at A. Cash, again, another rotation-oriented map. It's going to see. I mean, I want to see another a more mid presence than we did in the last map. Yep. Na'vi never really seemed to bring it to Fnatic on the T side.
The 3 places I want to look for on this map are primarily A main. I'm going to talk for a CT side from Fnatic to start with, because A main JW has been a beast with this one. They either boost him up on top of the box, or he goes for the early pick into A main, gets that early vision. You also have to watch for the A long, because especially on pistol round, the early pistol rounds, they like running two through squeaky and looking down. They always search for the information, so then they can go for the rotation. The second point is obviously that entrance into B. That's where you've been seeing the AWP from Olaf. We saw the huge frag clip from him last night, where he's able to take out 4 players. They try and come in. It's just so hard to pick him off when you try and go to that point. And the other major point is vents. Not even that jump box in mid, which used to be a major point for Fnatic. Last night, their major area was actually manipulating inside of vents, rushing those 2 defenders up and then boosting them in.
And that's where Na'vi needs to find the read early on how Fnatic wants to play mid, because they have 2 approaches. One is they do the 2 run to B. They smoke off the tunnels. Usually they'll smoke it off. That's your indication that they're boosting someone in, unless Olaf's going to go ahead and pull off a huge couple of kills again with the AWP from B. But usually if they smoke, they're boosting. Then your mid player needs to realize, okay, there's one to our left when we enter in. And if they're not boosting, chances are they're going to have 3 immediately into mid with Pronax running for that quick rotation at highway. And if they are not going to contest those vents, if they're going to play passive mid, you need to realize that you need to run, if you're going to run B, more players directly B side, and then smoke deep and try and rush the vents and get into B, and then hold off, have one lurk player hold off that rotator. It's all about mid right now, in my opinion, against Fnatic on this map. A is one thing, sure, you've got to have smoke executions, you've got to be able to hold them off, but you need to realize Fnatic's very quick on their rotations, and they love to put 3 mid.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that kind of play. That whole fall back, create the arc. I almost wanted to at one point during that last. Actually, no, I think it was during Inferno where I saw it. Now, it didn't work at that point because I weren't really utilizing such an open space like you have on the A side. But you could probably draw a perfect arc and you would get the Fnatic players and they would just move in this arc formation.
And the other thing in this map that they really like to do, because it's so spread out across, is that after about 50 seconds, 45-second mark, they'll start to push one player either up at long A or into A main or someone into B tunnels, depending on their read, and try and figure out exactly where the offense is and funnel them toward one side or the other and get that information so they can start to stack a site late. And they're usually quite successful at it. But knife round underway. It's 1-1 so far in the knife. Actually, I take that back. Fnatic's won both, have they not? They have won both, so they're going to win all 3.
Yep. And, well, every single time they chose CT, I doubt anything is going to be different this time. In fact, there is a swap. So Fnatic will start on the CT side. The most critical thing for Na'vi on this T side is never let Fnatic get to a point where they got enough money where they can buy double AWP. If that happens, I fear for Na'vi, because I just don't believe they've got the pushing power to break that.
I mean, Na'vi, or Fnatic, excuse me, has been one of those teams that on an eco on this round or a force buy, if they can save one AWP, one M4, they're still lethal just because of the way they utilize their ops. In fact, when they run that double AWP, it's typically an AWP A, AWP B, 3 rifles mid, take the fight, and then you've still got the weaponry to cover off the angles because there's such strong angles at each site on the way in.
Let's get it underway. So our final deciding map between Fnatic as well as Na'vi. The winner of this plays up against Team Solar Mid. The winner of that best of 3 will get themselves a $5,000 plus their ticket punch to DreamHack Bucharest, where they will join already the firstly qualified team, Envious. This is what we're talking about from JW. A main is a minefield. He doesn't have any kind of fear of pushing up. Gets the initial 2, looking for the 3rd, and he's even going to take that one. JW going big, and now sees, or at least he found the 2 aggressive CTs pushing up through B. Olaf will shut him down, and JW is looking for his quad, and it will in fact be the ultra kill in through A main. Quality first round for Fnatic. Even able to pick up the Tech 9. Give that one over to Olaf, and he can just hold B probably solo with that.
Good play by JW as we see it again here, pushing into main. First kill. Very calculated, doesn't overstay his welcome, falls back for that reload, and then he just gets more. C's did do well, but there it is again from Fnatic. It's early on already, and as soon as that shot went down at A main, he just pushed up. He immediately got the information, or rather the 2 other players pushed up over at B and got that information, so there was no falling back for Na'vi.
All right, we're back live again. Na'vi, their focus is the jump boxes. Olaf feels it coming, and he's prepping the nade for it. A lot of chip damage arriving in for Guardian as well as Edward. With a double defense, both Flusher and Crim sticking in close. Olaf's the man to play the mid. This time, JW plays a more defensive position on A. He's looking over towards the blue door. That's where Flamey's moving up to now. Zeus and C's ready to come in. JW. Okay, there's that boost into the vents. And Guardian, yeah, he knows to look for it. When he's got that Deagle, he's hoping for the initial frag too. Can't claim it. So Fnatic still with a 5-man lineup. JW going to have to defend the highway. Olaf at least holding him back from blue door. They did lose the highway after JW and now as well as Olaf dropping. And the A side, it belongs to the T's. The bomb's still not down yet. Flusher able to get there in time, so the bomb's in the open.
He's 1 HP.
Well, there's a nade. That'll do the job. Or they can just go, okay, well, they're not going to do that job. They wait back at the boxes. Oh yeah, they're boosting up. Yep.
They are, yeah. So
they're
they smoke them
up.
off. They're going to go for this boost late. Actually, they're just going to sit and wait.
That's just a pop top. That's all that one was.
Interesting that they got up highway that well. That's actually what opened up the site for them, and Fnatic was very passive on it that time. So
it was because they couldn't control the vent area. The second you had to pull off the vent, JW was forced to run down the highway to try and contest it. He goes down, and your last two remaining players from Fnatic were deep inside the A site, which means when Na'vi pushed out through A main, they are able to get a lot more room to move and maneuver. So 3, 4 A main. They have to pull it. They have to actually drag one back to A right now. Like JW has to move over. Realize no one's coming in through the mid. Olaf and Pronax, there's the call. They're still alive, and this is going to buy them some time. JW's already managed to find one. That's that rotation up. And in fact, Olaf in with a Rack 9, putting it to work. The last players left alive is Guardian at the forklift, and he has to lift if he wants to try and win this round. But down to 40 HP, there's not much hope. Crims will take the kill. Pulling and spraying to the right when he's done.
Yeah, no one could hit him there for a minute. That was the point I was going to make at the start of the round was they actually didn't go for 3 in mid that time. They didn't have full weaponry. They're trying to save out to build their economy still here, obviously. But what happened is they had 2 in B. They didn't play for vents, and that meant when once A started to be contested, they had a long rotation. But here we go, double op already.
Yep.
And we're going to go JW at B this time.
Yeah,
so
they're switching
based
it up.
on the spawns, Olaf's going to go to A.
Yep. So JW has to watch for that early B. He's going to see Seized, in fact, kill Seized.
I mean, Fnatic's so good in this because, look, again, 3 mid. Crims has already found his way up to the cubby below the drop. Flush is up by the vents. They've got so much map control as soon as they get these ops out.
Notice where Olaf holds, though, over on the A side. He's not checking aggressively the way JW would. And JW's positioning was also a lot more defensive than it would be for Olaf. They realize it's a gun round, sure. But I think if those guys were switching on either sides, they would be looking for a lot more information right now. The boost is coming, but Crim sitting inside the cubby. He's about to cause a large amount of problems for Na'vi. All he has to do is look to the heavens. There goes one. Doesn't look for the second, however. Mustn't have heard him running in. Over to the sandbags. That's a flash out. In fact, that's not the sandbags. JW's. In fact, he's looping around him. He moves out to the box.
He knows Zeus is past him, too, so he's got to pick a shot here very carefully.
Guardian. He needs to kill off Guardian on his left. That's the primary target. He's going to take him out. There's the bomb exposed. Walking through the smoke on top of Flamey. There's one up in the vents. But Pronax gets the upper hand, so Flamey's going to drop. And JW, okay, he will be killed off by Zeus. But Zeus is in between a rock and a hard place. Has to move it out to Checkers, at least try to fake it. Kills up Pronax. Timer, 18 seconds on the clock. He does have the bomb, but Olaf with this AWP wants to play the angle game. And look at him. Oh, the tag.
Oh, wrong time to look away. He tried to bait it out. He knew he didn't have a lot of time to go for the plant. Man, JW sneaking through that smoke really tore that round apart because they weren't checking that box. There was a bit of spam that went toward it, so I wondered if they guessed that he was there late, but he still found the bomb carrier regardless.
If they guessed he was there, they would have checked it a lot more solidly than that. And Guardian wasn't really looking for it. He was looking more towards Checkers.
And even if it hadn't been the bomb carrier that he found, that means they wouldn't have had to go back. They would have had a little more time to play with inside the site. So Fnatic 4-0. This is the start that we talked about they didn't have on Inferno. This is the one they need.
Well, we're going for a quick move. We've got Rec 9s and Deagles. Looking to come into the A side. JW and Pronax are there with the M4s. Olaf is the man that's going to have to rotate up. There's flashes, smokes. That's actually stopping Zeus and Guardian from getting out from A main. But the primary force is coming in through the blue squeaky. And that's the force that kills up Pronax. Seized with that Tech 9. Able to best bounce bullets down towards the highway side. They haven't cleaned up JW. Now they will. Now this is a great take from Na'vi. I would say almost flawless considering they were only on pistols. But it's still a 2-on-now-2 situation. As the M4's going against him. The last two Ts sitting at back of the site. That's why they're boosting him up. Looking for the jump over. It's a 1-on-1 now. And it's going to go the way of Flamey. So the Na'vi will get up on top. And Fnatic not able to get that successful retake. They didn't know exactly where they were and probably felt under pressure to get the defuse timer running.
And look at this, though. Because of how many kills we've seen come out, obviously we went down to that 1-on-1 the round prior to this. A lot of money was spent from Fnatic, so Crims is going to go for the FAMAS just to even up his money. He had the most of anyone on his team, but Guardian now has an op. They've got an M4 that they saved for Flamey and 3 AKs. Na'vi have found themselves a chance at the right time. That last round didn't go their way, and they didn't get many kills. They really would be hurting.
Now they just have to make sure that they don't have the same problem as Fnatic. Have a round go the wrong way. Olaf already moving so aggressively up, gets the kill on Flamey. That's the weapon for him, and then he can just pull back. A good weapon as well, that M4. So Na'vi, now they're the ones under pressure. They realize they're still up against the FAMAS and M4, so they're going to be careful of the angles. Pronex is the man we probably should be looking at. Edward's going to throw the smoke out. Feeling someone might be coming in to look through mid. And Pronex waits in the corner. They're already onto B site. Flusher's the only man on B. Crims will have to come up to heaven in a moment, but C's battling out from the pit. Flush is going to get the upper hand with the CZ auto. Needs to keep battling. Takes a second onto Zeus. He's got support coming in from the side, and he takes the third as well. Beautiful round for Fnatic. And Na'vi tripping on their shoelaces just when you thought they got the shoes on.
One rifle, that's all it took. Fnatic's so good. They didn't even lose a man there. It was 4 rifles to start things off, so that hurts. Na'vi had a chance right there to claw back in, and it's T-side make or break you. If you're not organized on this map, it's going to absolutely kill you, and that was just completely lackluster walking into B.
Where's JW going? So JW's looking for the mid pick with the AWP.
Well, they only have the one this time, so rather than split it, they'll disperse out the damage. So AWP mid, 2 rifles B to compensate for that, and then a quick rotation. Pronax the only one in A, and Olaf will be the first up. Actually, it's going to be JW based on the shots fired over toward long.
Yeah, he's got the better angle to look towards the blue door. When Na'vi ran 3 through there last time, you're going to have to prioritize areas like that.
Look at how passive Na'vi is, though. Just sitting all the way back by spawn still. C's waiting at A main. Flamey's the only one up toward a bomb site, and he's at Squeaky. He'll just try and distract from this position and at least get some information on rotations.
Well, the movement is coming into A main. JW and Pronex still there. Crims is already moving over to A. I think, yeah, it's because Flush is up so far, they're realizing they're not here. Olaf's got no noise in mid. There's your first battle coming out from Pronex. So he's calling the fact there's a couple in A main. JW has to look up towards the door. At least he'll find Edward. The flames are keeping him out. Double blind as well at Fnatic. Okay, that was just beautiful timing. Their nades were perfect, and they just sprayed their way to victory. 6 rounds to 1. Fnatic, I think they've warmed up. I think they've warmed up, Sadicist.
Oh, definitely. We talked about the slow start in the last, 3 nights consecutively now. You could be right. If they continue like this, it could be scary for TSM. Because it was, again, TSM that got the early start last night against them, and they won't have that advantage. This time, Fnatic looks far more awake. Haven't built any economy, but again, it's Guardian on the bottom. He hasn't had the op out very much, but 1 kill for him. We said he was the player to watch, and right now he's not the player that's on, but he found JW. He answers me calling him out, so shut up, Sadokist. I've still got the skill.
Now, the one thing that could go wrong is this boost over mid. Guardian's got the bomb. Actually, he's going to drag the players back. They need to have him on A. With only 3 defenders left. Flash is at least able to even up the odds a little bit more, but these smokes, the coverage is really good. Flashes, smokes as well. Another flash actually blinding the 2 CTs at the top of Highway. Maybe with that smoke cover they can get out. And we're sitting back behind the site. There's the first one from Pronax, but the second U is revealed. Zeus is able to spray it out, and that's going to be the round to Na'vi.
And there you go.
Much needed one.
Guardian gets an early pick. They actually make something of it. It's JW getting aggressive at A.
That's where it started.
Look at the reaction there. That's utterly ridiculously fast. I mean, that's incredible. So Guardian opens things up. That's exactly what I was talking about at the start of the last round. If he's not on, they aren't finding the options. Okay, yeah, so you're pointing at it already. It's Olaf and JW right back to ops again.
Yeah, so even though Na'vi do win the round, they don't win the war. Fnatic have so much money. So Olaf, well, we saw this happen previously. He takes one. He would have heard the second move as well.
So the 1-3-1 split. Guardian down. This is looking bad again. They haven't found that pick. Seas tries to, but Flush is right there because they've got so much mid presence.
That means that second orb's on the ground. Flush can be the man to pick it up. Edward coming over the boxes, the jump. But Crim's waiting for him in the sandbags. And these two teams just so heavily split. JW will take out Flamey over on the A site. Zeus can at least pick up the bomb in Garage. The Crimson Pronax are waiting for him to come out, and this should be the end of the round. 7 rounds to 2. That's the double AWP angles, which we saw before. You get the initial pick, and all hell just breaks loose. You lost your flank on B. You couldn't get the entry over to A. There was just no holes made by Na'Vi into the Fnatic defense.
Yeah, I mean, Flusher was rotating into vent. No contest, no battle against him. Gets there. They've already got the pick at B, like you said. They're giving them a lot of room. They're relying, it almost seems, on Guardian to get these early kills, and every round he hasn't. It's been a nightmare. But again, passive play. They're going to have a smoke out already on Fnatic's side toward the mid garage. That lets Crims push right up. He's already inside vent, so B's going to be under control. C's down again. Olaf, easy shot. They're not even taking the early fights, and Fnatic's not even waiting on the angles. They're not even racing to the angles. They're racing past them at this point. They're taking more than they should be enabled to have.
Yeah, that's because we saw it multiple times during the previous maps when Na'Vi just don't feel like they've got it, even with the pistols earlier on in this map. They just hold back a lot further, and Fnatic is reading that. They're reading that they can be more aggressive and claim more map control from their initial positions. And when JW pushes out like that, and yeah, that's going to mop up a little bit more. They do still lose Crims and Checkers, but Olaf's waiting at the back of Checkers on the box. And Flusher wraps him up. So 8 rounds to 2 in favor of Fnatic.
And that was your eco, but it's only 2 rounds in succession, so not much of a money bonus going their way. Only $1,000 extra this time.
That's not enough to buy.
It's not, so they have to hold again.
When you're trying to hold with pistols, when you're now going into the 11th3rd, and you're up against 3 M4s and 2 AWPs, which are out shooting you every single time.
And just to go back to the point as well about giving them that map space, even if you're not going to win the fight every round, it's important to at least try and take it.
What is this from Fnatic? Okay, so Na'Vi has come on. Pronax has basically been asked to hold the A site by himself, which he cannot do. He grabbed one before going down. Olaf's looking for the corners with that AWP, taking considerable amount of damage. It was the 3 aggressive pushes to then try and go into this flank all the way from the B side. They will get the retake. But, yeah, interesting choice from Fnatic. When you're feeling you're in a little bit of trouble, they just stacked one side, and that was all.
Yeah, change things up. Want to catch Na'Vi off guard, and I mean, they've got the lead right now in this game quite comfortably. There's no reason not to change things up and try things out for later. This is the opportunity to do it. But again, going back to the point, if they don't take those early fights, they don't even have to win them, but at least smoke, at least flash, at least have a presence. Even if you're losing them, it makes Fnatic have to sit there and think that it's coming and have to hold that spot and let you take those extra inches that Na'Vi are giving up right now.
Two all positions. They're actually running Olaf down at sandbags.
Again, 3 stack over at B.
Yep. JW is watching for the aggressive push. But Na'Vi is split up. The bomb's still back in Garage, but they're setting themselves up for an A entry. Pronax again, just this sole survivor or sole standing man over on A. Trying to get the info. Guardian with the AWP just wants the earlier pick. And this will be, yep, there's that pick. Now they can move in. Flash is coming back. Olaf, he's back at truck with the AWP, so they got to be careful about coming in through the A. Now Olaf, where's that tag? Zeus is able to catch out the flanking Crims. There's Flush from up a catwalk. The Molotov does fly up. He's forced down off the top of the ladder. There's that plant right in front of him. He's going to kill Sir. He's going to kill Seized. He tried to do it sneaky beaky like, and the bomb is thrown towards catwalk. Oh, not towards catwalk, towards highway. What? What was that? Guardian. He needs eyes in the back of his head for those kind of situations. He just strolled in behind him and didn't look. He was blinkers. Blinkers. Fnatic go 10 rounds to 2.
Na'Vi can't even sustain the site when they get in there. They'll force out with this little bit of money that they have. Oh, I know. This is just, it's brilliant from Olaf. Just sit back and wait. Why would he take the shot? If he's not going to check the angle, if he's going to be that ignorant to it, he'll just walk around behind him. So I mean, Na'Vi is just not at all playing
Oh, that's nice from Edwin.
Counter-Strike. Finally, I mean, that's what, the third round overall they've had an early pick, and Flamey gets caught on the boost. They don't even pursue through it. Obviously, that smoke came out. He had to fall back, but by giving it up, look, they're going to double boost this. I mean, I'm not sure I agree. They've still got JW watching it. Okay, luckily Guardian fell back down.
Look at C's position. He's so far up on B inside of the checkers at the moment. He's right behind that of Olaf, and he was going for the knife on
Tried
him.
to return it. That's extra $1,500, but you are this far behind, and you go for the knife. That's an easy kill, and insult to injury, salt in the wounds. Olaf's going to go ahead and just laugh his way into another kill against Zeus.
He basically waltzed his way through the smoke. JW's going to finish it up with the CC. So Edward's going to go down. And Olaf's calling it out. It's like, not today. Not today. You will not get me today. You need to have those knives, almost having like the old thing they implemented in Battlefield 2142. You knife someone. Actually, no, it's about in Battlefield 2 they had it, where you're able to knife somebody and it records who you knifed. So you had
you get the dog tags or whatever.
Yeah, you had like the bragging sheet.
Yeah. I think it still does that in BF.
Yeah. I'd like to see that in CS, especially when you have players like Olaf, if you can get that one. Guardian.
Okay, great. Here we go. Let's use this. There's your opening pick again from Guardian. But now they're going to try and work it out. Pronax is here, and that smoke's there as well. That slows them down. Last time they didn't have that to work with. He's so up close, though. He's so aggressive. If they come through, that's a second man's job. Your first man's never going to clear that. Pronax will wait. Your second man has to be the one. But look at the rotation. They're already there. Yeah, but again, like you said, bombs heading over toward Crims.
Yeah, and he's the man that has to keep looking for this one. Give the extra information, allowing Olaf to get back as well as Flusher. Olaf is walking around with the ult, so he doesn't want to come through the vents, which is the closer area. That's where Flusher has to move through. And in fact, Crims has just given him the sight. Throws nade to try and slow them down. Spray through it as well. Pronax is still not moving over yet, but Zeus is on the site and the plant's going down. Flame to control the vents. That's where Olaf's on his way through. It said he doesn't want to come through here. Not with that AWP. He wasn't going to find any angles to work with. I think Pronax is now going to be the second one to arrive, and I don't think Fnatic can take this round. Especially when Ed was able to shut down your vents. Yeah, Flusher and Crims just back it up. Your money situation is not fantastic. The fact that Olaf has 1,300 is great, so they will still be able to buy fully for this last round of the first half.
Oh, easily.
But it's like
Olaf will drop out even if he has to.
Yeah, but they have enough for the double AWP. That was my only question. If they have enough for the double AWP as well as having the M4s on all the other players too, which they will. So it's a full buy for Fnatic in the last round. Na'Vi with only 3 rounds on T-half. Yeah.
I mean, that's...
It's sad considering that...
When this map was new and Valve just added it to the map pool, it wasn't surprising to see something like that, but now it's more 9-6, 10-5 at the very least, and already JW with 2, or pardon me, with 1, and Olaf with the other, so both ops come into the round already, and it's looking grim. Because Guardian's down. Flamey's picked up the op in response, but there's still no entries to be had. Crims is also going to find out Zeus, and there's only 2 against 5. It's not at all ideal.
It's at least they got time on their side. That's one thing. Being Mr. Optimist right now. It's Flamey just waiting in A main for someone to have a peek. JW will want to have a look down here. He's already moving up for it. Inching the corner. And there goes Flamey, flying through the air. Cops a bullet to the chest. And Edward back in garage. Getting as much information as possible. Flush is so far up as well. This is an impossible task. Really impossible task, but there's no point saving. It's the last round of the first half. So all he could do is come up, look for some picks, hope that they run to the wrong bomb site and get a plant down.
Yeah, not even going to happen.
No.
Plant wouldn't even matter at that point. The money doesn't carry forward, so 12-3, that's a good performance from Fnatic, and I said their mid on this map is so strong. As soon as the ops came out, they play that 1-3-1. Yep. I'm curious to see who the next team to run that's going to be, because right now they're running it so consistently and so effectively that it has to be considered by, I mean, maybe Forest and Alnu. Does Nip try it? I'm not 100% sure. They're confident on it. Flip side, maybe, but they're not really at the same skill, so it doesn't really apply against top teams.
You have to have confidence to run it because it's all about the early picks. That's what it's all about with that double AWP strat. Control A main, get something over on B. So we're running out.
Early knife.
Yeah, I don't know why Zeus did that, considering this is pistol round and every point will count to winning this. Especially, I'm hoping this isn't the Na'Vi, let's go have vodka moment.
Well, I hope not.
Are they trying to get him up into vents? Well, Edward's waiting for him. Pronax will go down. So Fnatic, they are coming in for the B push. They take out Zeus and Checkers, having to spam up towards Heaven. Successful at doing so. Flagging that last player. It's going to be Flamey at the back of the site. Edward has replaced his teammate up in Heaven. Taking out one, taking out two. Need to find the third behind him. Able to do so. Crims will drop. Olaf, the last man left alive, but
four's not
with
enough.
a Tech 9 in hand, it's too easy for him. And 13-3.
That's so frustrating for Edward. What a great round. Good read on the man behind him as we'll take a peek again. Look at this. They're already past him. An easy one on the bomb carrier. Yep. They don't peek up because he hadn't peeked until late, so they overlooked the position. That kill right there on Crims was just a good heads-up play, but he gets 4, and then he goes down in a one-on-one. I mean, that just sucks. That's when you're angry with yourself for not getting the kill. You're upset. Why'd your teammates not get one? All they had to do.
Well, Olaf was
already
already in battle.
The game out of reach.
Look at Na'vi. So how do you do this when you feel like you're in a lot of trouble? You try and stack up. You stack up mid. Everyone with the scout can at least kill off Crims. But they moved 2 players down. The boost up was quick from the T's. And Flamey, well, there's number 1. Picks up the AK, so he's got some hardware to work with. And the T's aren't really that healthy. Edward's moving back over. The bomb plant's going to come down from Pronax. Olaf. A long run from A. So his Predominant's going to be running overtime. And Flamey's waiting for him to arrive. He's sitting all the way out in Toxic. I think at this point he's just hoping to hold on to the AK. And Olaf's going to come through Vent. But he's not even going to do that. They know this plant's down. This will be the 14th round. Edward is able to get 1 kill over on JW. At the same time, that reveals his position. It's just a scout at the end of the day. But if they can get it out, if they can get it off his hands, they're going to do so. And the chance, they do it. So Olaf will get the kill. Also after the countdown timer went. Na'vi in a rough position.
Well, it won't matter though. He's CT, so it doesn't affect the money at all in that regard. He still gets the money for that.
Yep. But Flamey's the only one with any real kind of cash, and he's the man that held onto the AK, so he'll buy up the armor.
Well, he's gonna grab.
He's only got Flusher running at him
for Edward, so he'll go up close toward A main. If they rush in there, he might have a chance. He's gonna get on the boxes though. That's a predictable angle to check. It becomes more and more common. I would almost want to play that on the quad side underneath the forklift. JW gets 1. That's Zeus down. Here comes Highway opening up. Forces Na'vi to pull the player back down. That's Guardian, and JW finds him as well. So it's falling apart, and there you go. Edward already checked. Well, it's just so predictable to play that. At least they've got an AK to play this reverse angle from C's, but it won't matter. They already get him, and that leaves just Flamey for the match point situation. It's going to be 15 rounds Fnatic and only 3 Na'vi. Let's remember they took Inferno, which was actually Fnatic's map choice, and we had a great match on Mirage. Right now it's nowhere to be seen. So Fnatic's looking to move forward early on here against TSM. And TSM better hope they're warmed up because Fnatic is alive and well.
Yeah, they're playing really tight. Na'vi have kind of just fallen off the boat a little bit and they're being dragged behind by a rope. It's just really rough for them. There's no money to really speak of, so they go for the 3 scouts, 1 Famous, and a couple nade smokes onto Zeus. And they better hope they get these early frags up against Fnatic, because that is their only hope to even have a chance to get back in this. They put the scouts into mid. And they do get 1. There goes down JW. Looking at the boost box.
He spotted his head. He did see it peek up.
Just spray and feel you're going to get it. So Guardian also dropping. Just a 1-for-1 trade-off so far. 4 AKs are the ones going to work. But there we go. Some good nades. Flash is able to take out Zeus. And Edward and Flamey, the last one's left alive. Edward trying to have a look through mid. Jumps out right into the middle of Olaf. He actually walked through smoke while Olaf was on the low ground. And we're on board with our last player from Na'vi. Flamey with the Famous. The impossible dream shall not be realized. He will go down now. And that's 16-3 Fnatic. After a very rough start on Inferno, where it looked like, well, they couldn't actually find their feet. They finally do in map number 2, with some great play from JW in the mid, and now with a very, very solid CT side.
I think you got to ban out Cash against the way they play this 2-op setup. It's got to be banned out. Again, it's Olaf. Match MVP.
How many maps can you ban against these guys when they keep cracking
Well, that's
them?
my point. That's exactly my point. Now that Cobble's one that I don't know if I agree with Cobble being the early ban in this series, because Mirage is arguably Fnatic's the best team on Mirage in the world. they actually got it picked against them. Inferno traditionally has been a strong map for them. Fortunately for Na'Vi, they managed to get that, but Cash is looking very, very, very scary against Fnatic. So that goes back to them. Huge match. The other thing I want to point out just touch on is Flamey only got 5 kills. They only had 3 rounds, but Flamey and Zeus only had 5 kills apiece. They weren't even getting kills, and a lot of that had to do with JW and Olaf able to take those early angles and early map control. And then what are you going to do? Take a fight at mid with 3? You have to find a way to beat one of those 2. And we saw the round that Guardian actually took down JW with that nice shot. That opened up everything. They just couldn't find the early picks, and then Fnatic just slaughtered them with aggressive play.
Oh, man, Fnatic, they're looking good. I know we're already behind schedule, so I don't know if the guys are ready to go to our break. We'll have 1 more minute before we get to that one, as I believe they're prepping your wonderful highlight videos for you. But we do have at least at the end of our grand final tonight, which is what's coming up next, with $5,000 going to first place, $2,500. Fnatic are able to secure themselves that much prize money. If they can take the first, obviously it's the 5K.
Yeah, and $1 grand for Na'Vi, plus a chance to come back in 2.5 weeks time for the last chance qualifier.
Yeah, so we're going to go to a break. Make sure in the meantime, in the break, you subscribe yourself up so you can win this wonderful gut knife that is below in your screen right now. You must be subscribed, sitting inside the chat, and then it's just exclamation mark raffle, and best of luck to you all. That will be done after the last match of the grand final, which you will not want to miss. Be back here in a moment, where we're going to have Fnatic going up against TSM.